Hey, what's going on everybody? Today we're going to be talking about all the mods that I have done to my 2017 Mk7 Gti. So it is December 31st, New Year's Eve 2019. We're going to be capping out the year with the last video, basically just telling you guys everything that I have done to the car. So let's start on the outside. The wheels are Koenig Rennforms. They're 18 inches in diameter and it's a plus 32 offset. I get a lot of questions from people asking me what type of spacers I'm running, and I think that a lot of the GTI community uses a plus 40 or plus 42. Gives you that little bit of a hovercraft look. The wheels are sucked in. If you get a lower offset, it's going to push those wheels out further, but you might have to do a little bit of tweaking with the fitment, but it makes it look a lot better in my opinion. Now for the tires, to go with those wheels, they are a 235/40/18, which is a little bit thicker of a tire, a little bit meatier, which is the look I was going for. It fills out nicely with those plus 32 wheels, and it sits very nice and flush right with the fenders. So moving on to the suspension of the car, I'm running Eibach lowering springs. They're sportline. There is a pro kit, but the sportline drops it a little bit more, closer to about 2 inches all around. The pro kit's more about 1 inch, maybe a little bit less than that. But I haven't had any issues with scraping or rubbing or anything like that. They are still on the stock struts that are holding up well. They're probably getting to the end of their life, but with 73,000 miles, I can't really complain. But it makes the car look very nice with the Rennforms and the thicker tire. Now to fit those wheels and tires with the lowering spring, I had to do a fender screw mod. You guys are probably familiar with what that is. You go into the front wheels, remove one of the screws, and you kind of peel back the inner liner so it sits above the fender. It just gives you a little bit more room in there so you're not rubbing on any bumps or anything like that. It gives you a little bit more space to fit a bigger, aggressive, wider wheel. So moving on to the front of the car, we have the Aerofab version 2 street splitter, which I can't say enough about this splitter. It's awesome. It's holding up very well. It's subtle, but it's aggressive enough to give it a nice look, give it a more aggressive feel, like more of a lower profile. It brings the look of the front of the car down a little bit, which I really like. I have scraped a little bit here and there, but the materials that it's made out of are holding up really, really well. So moving to the back of the car, I have the Aerofab rear spoiler extension, which is one of my favorite modifications that I've done in the car, for only about 150 bucks. It's very high quality, precision cut, easy install, and it just gives the car a nice little flare at the end versus just the jelly bean shape that you normally get with the GTI. I think it could be a little bit more aggressive, but it's good for now and for my taste and whatnot. But maybe sometime in the future I'll make one that's a little bit more aggressive. But I really like it, and it's going to stay on the car for a long time. So moving to the inside of the car, we have the Swankymods shift knob, which was a DIY shift knob me and my brother made. We sold a couple of them. It was something I was going for, a more taller shift knob, something thinner, more race car-ish, if you will. But I really like the feel, I like the weight. It pairs nicely with the next mods I'm going to tell you guys about. So I just put on the OEM Audi short shifter. I replaced another short shifter that I had that wasn't really holding up. I had kind of disintegrated and wasn't really doing the job anymore, so I went back to just OEM. It cut down the shifts from stock about 15 to 20% front to back. It doesn't really do anything from side to side, but it just makes it really nice, clicks in. You know what gear you're in. It's a good feeling. It's worth it. I mean, I think I bought it on shop.com on sale for $90 some, I believe. Definitely worth it. Good quality, like it should be from the factory. So staying with the shifter, we just installed the Dieselgeek super pin. I'm gonna be doing a full review on that here soon, but it is one of the best mods that I've done to the car that I think for actually driving. So normally when you have a GTI, the stock shifter has a lot of slop in it from side to side, basically because the internals of the mechanism that's actually in the shifter aren't made of the highest quality materials. What the super pin does is it replaces a plastic pin that doesn't have very tight tolerances that equals a lot of slop in the shifter. So once you put the super pin in, it's a lot tighter, a little bit heavier. It makes your gears click in and out, and I love it. I couldn't recommend it anymore. And if you guys are interested, go to Dieselgeeks and pick one up. It's a little bit extensive of an install, taking the entire center console out, but once you have it in, you won't regret it at all. So going back to the outside of the car, the wheels and tires, I have the Rally Armor mud flaps, which I get a lot of static from people that don't like the look of it, but for me, they are so useful. With the plus 32, the wheels and tires stick out maybe just a little bit from the fender, so it kicks up a lot of dirt and debris and rocks and that kind of stuff. So those big Rally Armor mud flaps are really nice. I like how flexible they are versus like the rock block ones, and I think they just look really good with the Rally Armor logo at the bottom. I have just the plain silver, nothing too crazy. I think it also drops the look of the car down. It brings down the footprint of it, if you will, and just makes the car look lower and more aggressive in my opinion. All right, so moving to performance. Under the hood, we have the Apr cold air intake. Now, looking back on it, Would I buy it again if I know what I knew now? And I'm gonna say no. There's been a lot of tests and studies out there saying that it doesn't do anything more than what the stock intake does with a high flow air filter. For about $400, it's really not worth it, at least to me. I mean, it looks cool under the hood with the carbon fiber and whatnot, but you're only getting the first part of the intake. It doesn't even go the whole way back to the turbo, so you could probably find a better deal for $400 to be able to get more of a bang for your buck somewhere else. Next, we have the Apr Downpipe. Now, this is something that I will definitely recommend. It's very cool that when you buy the Apr Downpipe, they give you the Stage 2 tune for free. You just have to pay like an installation fee at your dealer or wherever you go. Having the cracks and the pops and the extra power and the sound with the stock muffler, it's worth it in my opinion versus buying a cheap knockoff one and having to pay $700 for a tune if you want to go with the Apr. But to finish this up, we have the Apr Stage 2 tune. Like I said, super reliable. I mean, I've been Apr tuned since about 4,000 miles. Have had zero issues. The car is running fantastically. The time and effort that they put into these tunes to make them reliable and safe is just something I really appreciate. And like I said, I can't recommend it enough. Anybody that asks me about tunes, I always say Apr. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated with them at all. Over the years of this YouTube channel, if I was, I would probably be a lot wealthier. Just the amount of people that say, I got an Apr tune because of you. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.